Hello, it's Easter Sunday, and this is Prague Cemetery. Well, one of the cemeteries in Prague. But I'm going to go look at the British Commonwealth grave section. And as my channel is about Sussex, I'm going to find the graves of 4 Sussex soldiers that are buried there. And then after that I'm going to go have a look at the Red Army section, which isn't far away. And a couple of people who are famous. So here's the Commonwealth grave section. So you've got the cross in the middle. There's quite a few Commonwealth graves. South African one there. But let's have a look for the Sussex boys. So here's the first one, Trooper Sidney Keith Thomas. And he was the son of Sidney and Elsie Thomas of Seaford, obviously in East Sussex. He was part of the C Squadron, 4th Royal Tank Regiment. And his epitaph at the bottom says, "What we keep in memory is ours, unchanged forever, mother and sister, Joan." I always think these ones are sad. A soldier or airman of the Second World War, 12th of May 1944, known unto God. And another one. And another one. There's a few in here actually. It's just sad that no one knows who they are. And yeah, no ancestors are ever going to come and find them. I've also got graves in here from Cyprus. Obviously that's the Turkish side. F. Hussein. So you've got a little bit about the cemetery here. During the Second World War, 6 sailors, 188 soldiers, 39 airmen and 31 identified servicemen, all from the armed forces of the Commonwealth, were buried in Czechoslovakia. The sailors, almost all the soldiers and some of the airmen were prisoners of war, captured in various campaigns, who died in prison camps. Most of the airmen were casualties of the strategic bombing offensive against military and industrial targets and communications in German-occupied Europe. Others were lost in the long-range missions flown at heavy cost in men and aircraft from bases in Italy to drop supplies to the Polish Home Army during the ill-fated Warsaw Uprising of 1st of August to 3rd of October 1944. After the war, all these burials, originally in numerous small cemeteries scattered throughout Czechoslovakia, were brought into the Prague cemetery. The total of 264 burials comprises 198 members of the British forces, 9 Canadian, 2 Australian, 40 New Zealand, 19 South African, 1 Indian, 8 Polish, and 13 are completely unidentified. And in here you've got the cemetery register. The visitors book. And some information about the burials. So let's see if I can find out a little bit more about them. There's a visitor's book in there and some more information about some of the soldiers, but not the guys from Sussex. Not that they're more important than anyone else. It's just that's what my channel's for. Okay, let's go find the other ones. This one is the grave of Joseph Richard Harris, son of Harry and Fanny Harris of Horsham. He was in the 2nd Battalion Royal Sussex Regiment. It says he died 20th of February 1945, aged 32. It says at the bottom, "We will remember. The life you gave will never grow old." Just up from him is W.A. Wood, Corporal Walter Abbott Wood, 2nd Battalion Royal Sussex Regiment. Not sure where he was from or much information on him at all, but he's in the Royal Sussex Regiment. Died 12th of December 1941. The last guy from Sussex is directly in front of Harris. That is Lance Bombardier Arthur George Russell. Born in Chichester in 1906. His wife was Emily of Chichester. He was in the 23rd Field Regiment Royal Artillery. Died 12th of February 1945, aged 37. You've also got some Polish soldiers buried in here. And some Jewish ones as well. One of them was the Royal Canadian Air Force, another one the Royal Air Force. Never far away are our Russian friends. This is the Red Army Cemetery. Well, that was the British and the Russian cemetery in Prague. Now I'm going to go through the main cemetery and have a look for a couple of famous people here. One of them was apparently quite an influential Jewish writer. There's a bookshop named after him in the old town. Yeah, so let's go have a look. It's a very beautiful and well maintained cemetery. And all the sections are labelled, makes it so much easier. There's a grave of an Orthodox priest here. And over in this section there looks to be someone who might be a famous musician, and he's got a guitar in his grave. Ilyas Sokolov. Forgive me if I said that wrong. You've got a lot of crosses with no names on, and I don't believe they are the American war graves. Because the American war graves are a different design. According to Google Translate, this sign says it's an honorary cemetery for the victims of World War One. So I don't know if it's specific victims or unknown soldiers from World War One. But anyway, mystery solved. The street of the Jewish cemetery looks like it's called Israel Street. It's a very loose translation that I've just made up. So, this should be the Jewish cemetery. And in here we will find a writer. Looks like a nice old, I don't know if you call it synagogue, but area for funerals. And you've got what looks like very old headstones, although this is the new part of the cemetery. This is the grave of the writer Dr. Franz Kafka. He was born in Prague. Apparently his best known works include The Metamorphosis, The Trial and The Castle. And he's got a memorial down there to his sisters who died during the Nazi occupation. As you can see, there's a lot of pieces of paper people have left on his grave, some pictures, a mask, cigarettes, things like that. These really old headstones that I was looking at were removed from somewhere else, an older cemetery, and placed here. And this is a memorial to the Shoah. This was made in 1985, and so is this memorial to the victims of the Holocaust. There's a memorial here to those who were deported to the Łódź ghetto, autumn 1941, died in the Holocaust. This memorial is to the victims of the Patricia ship disaster of 1940. And this one here is to the victims of World War I. This is the grave of a Czech rock star, Mickey Volek, 1943 to 1996. Lastly, here's the grave of a Czech actor who's in The Good Soldier, The Cremator and Capricious Summer. And that is him right in the middle. Some very old and impressive vaults here. If this is a tomb, it is massive. It looks more like a little church actually. But yeah, it looks like it is a tomb. According to the information sheet, it's the tomb of two prominent businessmen. So they must have done very well. That's it from the cemetery in Prague. Thanks for watching.